Hello, everyone. My name is Chaz Allison, and today I'll be talking about the work-life balance and how this idea reveals deep cultural differences between France and the United States of America. This topic caught my attention because both countries that we talk about are known for very different attitudes toward their work, leisure, and success. By looking at how each culture balances work and personal life, we can understand their deeper values and maybe even reflect on our own. So, why work life balance matters. So, first, what exactly do we mean by work life balance? At its core, balance means managing the demands of our jobs with our personal lives and finding time for our family, rest, and self care without letting work take over. It matters because it shapes not only happiness and health, but also how productive we are and how connected we feel to others. But most importantly, it reflects national priorities and what a society values most. In some other countries, work is central to identity. However, in others, it's just one part of a fuller life. In France, for instance, balance is tied to the idea of quality of life, which is seen as a cultural right, not a personal luxury. The French approach. The French approach. Now let's start with France. The French approach to work is shaped by strong labor laws and a deep respect for personal time. Since 2000, France has had a legal 35-hour week, which is one of the shortest in the world. Workers are also guaranteed at least 5 weeks of paid vacation, and most of them actually take it. Unions play a big role in protecting these rights, and there's a strong belief that leisure isn't just nice to have, but it's essential to happiness. Meals, family gatherings, and social life are taken very seriously in France. It's common for people to spend long lunches with friends or to completely disconnect from work on weekends. This here shows how the French culture values balance as a part of their national identity. The French mindset on travailler pour vivre. Probably butchered that. That's okay. A popular French saying captures this mindset perfectly. It means that we work to live, not live to work. In France, work is a means to enjoy life, not to be the center of it. Leisure is viewed as a necessity and not a luxury. It is seen as a time to recharge, connect with others, and enjoy simple pleasures. This mindset promotes community, health, and happiness. In fact, studies show that the French report some of the highest levels of satisfaction and social connection in the whole entire world. Their focus is on having a high quality of life rather than constantly doing or achieving. Now we have the American work ethic. Now let's contrast that with Now let's contrast France with the United States. The American work ethic is deeply rooted in the idea that success comes through hard work and perseverance. We often call this the American dream. In practice, this means longer work hours, shorter vacations, and what many call as always on culture, especially with the rise of technology keeping us connected 24/7. Here, productivity often equals personal worth. If you're busy, you're valued. If you rest, you risk being seen as lazy or unmotivated. This mindset has fueled incredible innovation and growth. However, it also leads to stress, burnout, and a loss of personal time. The structuralist lens. Structuralism is the culture built on oppositions. To understand these differences more deeply, we can look at the structuralist lens, which is an idea from the anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss. Structuralism suggests that culture builds meaning through opposition, like hot versus cold, nature versus culture, or in this case, work versus life. So if we look at France and the US through this lens, France represents collectivity, leisure, while also the US represents individuality, work, and doing. These opposites aren't just habits, they're systems of meaning that shape how people define success and identity. Comparing cultural systems. Putting these systems side by side, we can see two distinct visions of life. In France, community and rest are central. Success means enjoying time with family and maintaining a good quality of life. In the US, ambition and achievement are celebrated. Success is often measured by productivity, income, or even career advancement. These differences even shape how each culture experiences time. In France, time is something to be enjoyed. However, in America, time is something that we have to manage or even race against. Both of these perspectives have strengths, but they lead to different outcomes for family life, health, and happiness. In the end, both cultures are trying to find meaning in work, just in very different ways, though. What can we learn from each other? France reminds us connection and community aren't signs of laziness. They're vital for long-term well-being and creativity. Meanwhile, in the US, we are reminded of the power of ambition, innovation, and perseverance. True balance might come from blending these two mindsets and working with passion and purpose, but also protecting time for what truly matters. By reflecting on cultural differences, we can redefine success not as constant busyness, but as a life that feels both meaningful and whole. Some key takeaways. To wrap up, here are the key points I hope you take away from this presentation. First, work-life balance is more than just a personal choice. It's a window into culture and values. France emphasizes being, living well, resting, and connecting, while the US emphasizes doing, achieving, striving, and creating. Through a structuralist lens, these differences make sense as opposite, but are complementary ways of organizing meaning. In the end, balance isn't just about time management. It's about identity and purpose. If we can learn from both cultures, maybe we can even redefine success to not include not just what we want to achieve, but how we live. Thank you for your time.